Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Who TF Is. That's right, folks. The greatest show on earth is indeed back. Consider this the start of season 2. We've had lots of requests for people on this show, but one of the most requested people is indeed the Celia B herself. So we have Celia, known from Game and Talk. She also has a corporate industry job as well. I guess kind of corporate, right? We don't
Kind of.
you probably don't want to get that my stench attached to it by name dropping it on this particular show. But Celia, how are we doing today?
Pretty good. Looking forward to this. Or maybe not. We'll find out.
All right. So my first question is, I feel like it's a question that's honestly on a lot of people's minds. It's like, you're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's up with that? How's that worked out for you?
It's been going pretty well so far. No complaints. I don't know how to answer that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, do you enjoy it? Like, is it cool, or like, do you wish that you could have like a mustache or something? Like, well, some women do have mustaches. A lot of Italian women have mustaches. Do you have to like laser or anything, or is it just you're smooth naturally on the upper lip?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty smooth. Never really gave much thought to the mustache thing. Like, it would be probably cool to like have a really cool one, or like to have a really cool like curly Q one. That could be fun. But yeah, no mustache for me.
Okay.
Not in this lifetime.
I mean, there's always a chance down the road that maybe as you get older, I get hair. Do you get hair on the top of your nose?
No. Do
I
you?
get yes. I get hair. I have to pluck them. Like, it's really weird. I think it's
So
like a testosterone thing.
when you say on top of your nose, do you mean like a unibrow, kind of like on the bridge,
No,
or do you mean like just
on the
vibing like right
nose.
here?
Yeah,
Oh,
on the
cute.
nose.
Cute.
Yeah,
Love that for you.
on the flat of the nose.
I've never thought about that. But you learn something new every day.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. So you 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 are known for several different things. One of
Huh?
them is for lack of a better term, stealing. So when was the first time like you stole something? What was it, and was it the rush that got you, or how did that
Oh,
work out?
oh my gosh. Okay, so for context, I don't steal anything. I win things in contests or I'm given stuff. But earliest present, I feel okay, actually this doesn't help my case. Was actually my Nintendo 64. I feel like that's the earliest, I guess, record of acquiring things. Um, I've told this story in many different ways, and I actually found out the truth because I like fact checked and asked my mom. So here is the real story. So when I was a little kid, we had a family friend who lived kind of in our neighborhood, pretty local. He went to school with my sister, and his mom wanted him to focus on his studies. And he had won a Nintendo 64 or like in some prize thing or whatever. And because his mom wanted him to focus on his studies and I know all that stuff. They ended up giving it to my family, which was like the worst day for him, but like the best day for me. So I remember coming home and seeing my dad like plugging in the Nintendo 64. And yeah, it was awesome. I feel bad for him though. That really sucks.
Now, do you necessarily believe that story, or do you think that, hey, maybe your dad instilled this? Maybe your dad was, like a little, breaking into houses and stuff. I'm not here to judge. I mean, I can't talk about that stuff because I don't know about statute of limitations and on things like that. But like, it happens sometimes.
I feel like probably not my dad because, like, at that time, my dad was a working actor, so he could have been recognized pretty easily from TV.
Uh,
So I feel like when people have like could recognize you, it'd be a pretty bad time to steal things. But great theory though.
have you You've never shoplifted? Come
When I
on.
was little,
Come
like
on.
little, I think I did take a Pokemon card once, but I felt cool and then like never stole again, allegedly.
I used to go to when I was in high school. There was a Sam Goody that I actually worked at one time. And so I kind of knew like how things worked there. And
Oh.
I used to go because like, this was like Timberland, baggy jeans, extra large, tall tee, RGT. And I used to go in between classes in high school and I would like steal a magazine. Like I'd put it down my pant leg and like they never knew. Some of my friends stole all theirs. I remember Rob, he was kind of messed up on drugs. And we were at Blockbuster and I was actually just renting something. And like I hear all this commotion in the back of the store. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Because this is when they had the games in there, but there was that plastic case that you would have to bring to the front and they would put the little plastic unlocker in there and then unlock it. And then they would hand you the game to rent. And like there was all this noise, and I'm like, oh God, he's doing something. And we got out to the car. I was like, what the fuck was that, dude? He was like, oh, dude, that's how I played Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube because he gigged it from Blockbuster. I definitely hung out with some criminals. Ever caught any charges? Ever been arrested? Anything fun like that?
No. I've never even had a speeding ticket. I'm pretty boring on that note of things.
Wow, no speeding tickets. Have you been
No.
pulled and then you batted your eyelashes, let a little tear roll down your face?
No, when I cry, I look like a wet rat. But in general, no, I've never been pulled over. Knock on wood, But yeah, I know I drive like a grandma, and I'm really annoying with all the rules. So I think that's why.
White girl privilege. You heard it here
Oh
first,
my
people.
God.
Let's see. What else? What else do the people want to know about you? You have a controversy that kind of looms around you. You have a very, I guess the word would be outspoken cat who is, definitely has said some very questionable things, yet you keep him around. Why is that?
Well, I stand by my son. No, oh my God, it's a cat, Sean. Your beef with my cat goes on and on. I was expecting you to say, "Oh, I have a controversy, and it's being friends with you."
Oh no, that's just a given at this point in time, pal.
Uh-huh.
That's a given. All right. So, what do you? We'll ask kind of a serious question here.
Okay.
How do you, because I've obviously been making, you probably don't watch my content. I don't blame you. I've been making some claims about the state of the video game industry as it stands right now, more so on the AAA side of things, because we're
Yeah.
obviously seeing big losses, layoffs, distribution changes, which I don't think a lot of people understood what I was talking about in that, but it is part of a bigger deal. How do you, as in, we're not going to say where you work, but as an upper echelon indie studio that has worked with the major players, has had literal characters from major IPs and stuff, how are you looking at the industry right now and like the health of the industry? Do you think that there's a bit of a disconnect between what the consumer wants and what the companies are putting out? Do you feel like the suits are kind of running things and, this is potentially an opportunity for companies like you to come in and fill the voids? How do you see, especially AAA gaming side of things, how do you see that playing out right now?
Okay, you touched on a lot of questions, so I'll be asking you as I answer the ones that I remember. As for the state of gaming right now, it's kind of a scary place. So many studios are shutting down. There's so many layoffs. There's so many things that like controllable factors and uncontrollable factors that are going on. There's exponential profit projections that are absolutely not realistic. Because when you look at the COVID era, it was a really great time for gaming because everyone was stuck inside. So a lot of major corporations adjusted their projections, being like, oh, on these numbers, we can predict that we're gonna go even higher in the next 5 years. And because they did that, no one's going to meet expectations whatsoever. Because once we are all let outside again, we're going to do other things. We're going to go to work. We're going to go see our friends. We're going to do what we did normally. And it created this huge weird shift. And there's way more factors to have to do with that as well, because we're entering a recession economy all over, not even just for the States, but all over the world. Like, things are getting really, really tough. And I don't know when they're going to get better. So it's kind of one of those situations of holding on and kind of just looking at the trends of what consumers want and see if we can make those needs. Whether larger AAA companies are able to make that shift in time is something that we're just going to have to see play out. Because usually when games are greenlit at a certain time, and like there's certain games where like, it's topical, it's going on right now. I don't know if we want to bring up all the controversies, but there's like a certain type of like hero games that like 6 years ago were insanely popular. Like, that was the game you do, like Overwatch was huge. Like, so many of these, that they were making a lot of money. And by the time a major studio is able to get a game out, trends can change. And, some of that was like definitely evident. So it's kind of looking at that and looking at what AAA is planning and being like, can we shift to make games quicker? Should we invest in unique ideas instead than following what's the current trend? That's just something that they're going to have to look at and make decisions forward. But this is me just speculating because I don't work for those companies. I'm not in those forecasting meetings. And, indie works quite differently.
Right. You got less people. And I think the thing about indies is like you have a very direct line of communication with like the people who essentially call the shots, correct?
Yeah.
So I don't feel like if you brought an idea to the table, like they would actually, it might be like you play as a little Jewish girl who goes around stealing things. I'm just, saying hypothetically, they would at least listen to you. They wouldn't just brush you off. They'd be like, oh, okay, maybe. But with these bigger companies, it's like, who are you going to talk to? Your boss who answers to 3 people, who then those 3 people answer to 10 people, and you have, a boardroom and stuff like that with it. I just think the way that the industry on the AAA side of things, how they want to do things right now, it's not sustainable. Like, you're seeing that with Xbox and Game Pass. You're seeing that with, Xbox putting their first party titles on other platforms now. It's definitely a very weird time for AAA games. And, obviously the hero shooter thing, talking about Concord. And then you have, a game like Astrobot, which probably cost a fraction of the price. It took 3 years to make, as opposed to the 8+ years that Concord made. And people seem, genuinely excited for a game like Astrobot. Looks good, plays good, interesting concepts. And that Astrobot, to me, like, yeah, it's very Mario inspired, but that doesn't feel like a trend chaser to me. That feels like something that was a conscious decision. Let's make a new Astrobot game that is a big bona fide platformer. I don't know, like live service stuff. Do you guys ever talk about like, oh, we need to get a piece of that live service pie? Like, is that something that happens, at your studio?
Okay, you've asked many questions, so I'll start to try to address and piece through this. Okay, so for the most recent question, live service, no, that's not our bread and butter. I have no idea how we would even like tackle that, and like the costs that go into supporting servers for something like that just isn't something that would be feasible for our studio, to be honest. Then moving back a bit, platformers have 3D platforms in particular, have been popularized since, I don't know, like for the past like what, 20, 25
Super
years?
Mario 64, the GOAT,
Yes.
the golden standard.
Our love. I feel like right now it's such perfect timing for Astro Boy, because there is an opening and a gap in that market where 3D platformers are starting to feel very fresh again, and they're not overdone because the trends have shifted, and now like clockwork, it goes back. Or sorry, not clockwork. The pendulum swings over, and platforms are very exciting. It could be in 6 years, platforms are exhausting, and we all don't want to play them. We're all really into roguelikes again or something. I don't know. Roguelikes live forever, but you know what I mean. Yeah. And it's just kind of like one of those things where it's unpredictable, but when the market does open and you have great timing for that, like it's awesome and it's going to be a hit. And I'm really excited for Astrobot. I saw it at PAX. It was really cool. I got a cool little keychain for looking at it. And yeah, it'll be really fun. And then the comment you made before that, I don't remember. Do you
Oh,
remember, or we can just ignore it?
no, I just say things. I don't know what the fuck
Okay, I know.
about.
I'm just trying to address things and keep the conversation going.
Did anyone bury me at PAX? Because we do a podcast together, so my stench has kind of lingered onto you. Did anyone bury me at PAX?
No, no one even talked about you. I'm sorry.
No, that's
I
good.
was in media room. So to be honest, I wasn't near like the consumers. So maybe if I was on the show floor, they would have been like, "Hey,
well, no, I think
how's
that consumers tend to like me. It's just kind of, certain people that don't seem to be big fans of
Sean?"
me.
Sean, I feel like it's one of those things that since you have the echo chamber of Twitter, you are convinced that like people in their day-to-day lives like wake up and they're like, Sean, but
No, because first off, when I post something on Twitter, I'll look at
uh,
like the first 5 replies and then that's it. Like I'm not on Twitter unless I'm in a group chat. But in the group chat that I'm in with John and MVG and Nate, they are constantly sending tweets of things they find to be absurd or maybe realistic or something funny. A lot of times it's to try and get a reaction out of me. And literally 8 times out of 10, I'm blocked by these people. And I've never talked to them ever in my life. Like I have no
I
idea who these, like I have to ask them, like I'll say I'm blocked and you'll just see one of them say JFC and then they'll take a screenshot and they're like, why are you blocked by this person? I'm like, I don't know. I've never talked to them. I have no idea who this person is.
I think it's more of a block and forget situation than a let's get together in a circle and talk about Sean.
I'm not
I
saying
can't speak
that.
for anyone.
I'm just saying, I don't know why. I'm a nice person
I feel like
sometimes.
maybe sometimes you like to stir shit and maybe they're like, nah, not into this one. I have no idea. I don't even know who you're talking about, but no
I
one's
mean,
came up to me and
I
talked
could
shit
give you
about you.
a large list of people.
Oh, cool. Can't wait.
Some PR people too. So booger sugar. You ever indulged?
What?
Booger sugar. Little.
Oh my God. No.
Okay. Look, this is a judgment free zone here. Okay. These are questions that were submitted by an esteemed panel of people
Wow.
who want to know things about you. How does it make you feel when people like come into like the live chats and are like, Celia is so hot? I feel like women probably are kind of like, I guess maybe some of them were like, that's cool. And then some of them are like, that's weird. Like, where do you lie on that? Do you
I mean,
enjoy the random compliment as long as
I
it's
mean,
not pushed too far?
like, I don't mind people being complimenting me because, like, back when I worked at Hyperkin, all the comments were like, Celia's so ugly, and like would like comment really mean things about how unattractive I am. And it was like one of those things where it was like, oh, wow, thanks. So having the reverse, like, wow, Celia's attractive is like new to me, which sounds weird. I don't know. The internet used to be really mean to me. So, I don't know. I feel like because of that, since I was expecting such mean things, it's not too bad. But like as long as it's respectful and not like creepy shit, it's
Right.
whatever.
If you're gonna do creepy shit, like at least do a fucking donation. Like, let's be fucking real here. Like, you gotta keep it real here. So, all right, we're about to wrap things up here, but
Uh-huh.
this is a new segment that I just literally came up with 10 seconds ago.
Awesome.
What are some parting words that you want people to know about you? It could be anything. It could be a hobby, something you like, something you dislike. You could say fuck you to the audience. I don't care. But what are some parting words? What do you want people to know about you?
That's a really good question. It would be fun just, to start like shouting out stuff, but I feel like in general, like I've made a career of like loving video games, and like I'm really thankful to have this space to be able to talk about them and be excited about things. And I'm sorry that I'm not good at online multiplayer games. I love playing like solo adventures. They're way more fun for me. I don't know, Sean, what do you recommend that I leave with parting words to the audience?
Whatever you, this is your time to speak. Did you
Cats
happen?
are cool. What?
Let's calm down there, pal. Did you
Okay.
happen to catch Battle of the Sexes last night?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I started it and you guys announced that I was sick, and I was like, "No, I was just so tired. I spent a
Some
week talking about games. I just wanted to sleep."
someone on the show got exposed.
Was it you? It was you.
I'm not good at
Sean,
Smash. I'm not good at Smash.
Sean.
I don't play it. I think it's not a competitive fighter, and I won one time. I beat Josie once,
Who'd you
and that
play
was it.
as?
When I won, Ridley of all fucking
Okay.
people. But like, I haven't touched that game since 2019. Like, and I never played it. I would do the story modes. I would do this, that, or the other. I'd play online a little bit, but like all of the meta, all of the like because I like to familiarize myself with the game before we go live. I didn't remember I couldn't even figure out how to jump, and I was like, that's a fucking button. Who designed this? Like, I just don't. I view it as a party game where there's items and all sorts of fun stuff happening. They're like, Omega 3 stock. And I'm like, okay.
What is Omega? For the
No
stock?
items. No items.
Oh.
No items. And the stage doesn't change as a flat stage. So you do like
Ooh.
the edge stuff. It's fucking, what do they call it? Edge guarding and stuff
Yeah, it's
like
edge
that.
guarding.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like, bro, this is the only fighting game style, and I use the term fighting game very loosely. This is the only fighting game style where like edge guarding is a thing. Because like I was complaining about, people were like, what about Brawlhalla? What about Multiverses? And it's like, bro, they're all the same fucking game. I'm talking about like a Street Fighter, a Virtua Fighter, a Tekken, King of Fighters. Like, you don't edge guard. Like, what is that?
It's one of those things where, like, for me at least, like when I generally played Smash, it was like Nintendo 64 characters. That was like the main one that I played. So I probably would have had a really bad time as well with the game with Ultimate. As for like, it's just a different fighting style. I used to like not realize how crazy it can be until back in the Hyperkin days. I went to Evo, and then I went to Smash. It was like GT or something. No, it was a Smash. The Zero Saga Smash thing, and it was a tournament where Zero, the player that plays Diddy, is like the super famous Smash player, was he was like defeating everyone, and everyone just going against him. And I realized how much of an art playing Smash is, and like getting that good at it. I just feel like we weren't exposed to it because like I like you, like when I think of Super Smash Brothers, it's very casual. It's like you have a couple beers and you play with your friends until someone's too drunk not to play, and then that's when you win. And I don't know, it's a whole nother beast.
How was the smell at the Smash tournament? That's going to be my final question.
You know, that was in 2016, and the ballroom was pretty big, so it wasn't bad. It was actually it was a
good
pretty
ventilation.
Good. Yeah, I remember Evo being well ventilated too. So I don't know, but I also yeah, like that was good. I miss Evo. It was really fun back when I like went. But yeah, I don't know how to conclude that, but there you go.
Celia says that Smash players have upped their hygiene, and that is what you should take away from this. Celia, thank you for joining me here on Who the Fuck Is. Can't say it in the first minute of the video, or else YouTube won't give me any shekels. Celia, thank you for joining me. You can find her at Celia B3Es on Twitter. She also works for Yacht Club. We'll give them a little shout out too. I say I did it for your safety, not mine.
Thank you. So kind.
And as always, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to share it with your friends, channel members on the RGT Live and or what the fuck's it called now? RGT 85 Stash. I didn't steal that from Scott. Channel members get this video up early. If you want to be a channel member, hit the stupid thing in the bottom of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.